A new laser update is ready, but before that, let's check in with the lead developer of OS for the weather.
Dealing with pretty sticky weather here right now.
Thank you, Peppy. Anyway, lazer. Lazer aims to be compatible with every beat map, but how does lazer deal with maps like those from Aspire contests that are designed around bug exploits? The answer is they generally don't work, but that isn't always the case.
I'm not against making Aspire maps work, but actually making them work while keeping the code in a decent state, like adding back hacks but in a non-hacky way, is a bit challenging. Luckily, this one was a pretty simple one to add back.
We talked about Alabambi's slider merger in the last update, and naturally that's led to today's slider separator.
Yeah, I should mention one of the really powerful use cases for splitting sliders is you can split it, then make changes and combine them into one large elaborate slider.
Peppy's big project recently has been clocks, the systems that synchronize timing throughout the game. As of now, everything finally works. You can change your universal offset and it'll apply to the editor, the main menu pulse, and the Nightcore mod. Thoughts on clocks?
I have a lot of thoughts on clocks. Can you tell how done I am with clocks in my notes? How do I even put this? I want to rewrite the whole thing, but before I rewrote it, I wanted to understand what the requirements were. I'm just saving doing the rewrite for another time so I can actually be productive for a bit.
Smoogie Poo has been making a dent in Lazer too, but in the score department.
Smoogie's been making these huge graphs.
If I show this in video, what's the context that I can give?
The context is that Smoogie is working hard to make scores work well. I can't really give you more than that.
I see. It's now time for the top 10 laser changes from the September 1st update that aren't really that detailed but are still kind of cool to see. Number 1, Target Mod has a toggle to turn off the metronome.
A user reported that he uses Target Mod to fix his offset by playing through a beat map once or twice and just clicking along in time.
Number 2, the skip button no longer gets stuck on certain maps. Number 3, gameplay doesn't stutter when unpausing anymore. Number 4, the tournament client has customizable progression after the results screen.
When the gameplay ends, it will automatically show results and then go back to the map pool, which is the standard screen rotation for tournaments. This adds a toggle which allows you to turn it off completely and have full manual control.
Number 5, these mod multiplier displays are consistently rounded. Number 6, there's now date submitted sorting for maps in song select. Number 7, you can copy a link instead of immediately opening it. Number 8, Necodex designed some cool sounds for text boxes. Number 9, this annoying pop no longer happens when opening leaderboards. And finally, number 10. When maps are updated, they have this button, and for maps moving from love to rank, the button wasn't working, so now it works. That's it. Okay, that's a lot of changes, but we're still not done here. Let's talk about the new design for notifications in Lazer.
This is me trying to get something into this release that seemed like I actually got something done after spending all my time with clocks. I'm like, what can I do in a day? Yes, I can update notifications and tick that off my to-do list. I've had this on my to-do list for like months now because I've always been really annoyed by the notification flow in Lazer. It would always like take control away from whatever you're doing in the game, especially like going into gameplay and it's like your audio level is set too low or something and it just stops everything. I don't know. It was bad.
The last thing to cover in this video is laser crashes. A lot of things can cause laser to crash, and Peppy put in some work this week to prevent that from happening.
Most of the crashes we see are actually due to people having custom rule sets loaded, and those rule sets not necessarily being updated with changes we've made to the game. So I did some work to actually make sure that any outdated rule sets are just not loaded on startup, rather than trying to load then failing at a later point. Hopefully this is going to stop any crashes related to rule set loading.
And along with those crashes, there were a few unrelated crashes addressed, something Peppy explained as a common thing for any Lazer release.
So as I said, we use a product called Sentry, which lets us aggregate all crashes from users. So each time we do a new build release, we get, hundreds of new crashes coming in and then we sort through them. And after a new release, I'll always go through any crashes which haven't happened before. And yeah, these are just some of the fixes as a result of seeing those incoming crash reports.
So every time your Lazer client crashes, Peppy knows about it. Isn't that comforting? Anyway, you should read the full changelog if you want to know even more about this update, and we'll see you in the next one.